Hey guys, who wants to visit Universal Studios like a pro? Well, today I have 15 or more ride hacks to help you do so. Let's get started. We're actually going to begin today at the Islands of Adventure side of the campus, but before we actually start, I want to remind you, we publish theme park videos on this channel all the time, so hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you'll know when another video is ready for you to view. The first ride we're going to hack today is actually the most thrilling ride, currently the most thrilling ride at Islands of Adventure. It's going to be the Hulk roller coaster. The Hulk roller coaster is a launch coaster and its top speed is 67 miles per hour. But at the launch, you're going to reach about 40 miles per hour in the first 2 seconds. When it comes to roller coasters, a lot of people like the front row best. But really, with the Hulk, there's no bad seat. But here's the hack. In my opinion, you want to request the back row for this, and here's why. It's because of this tunnel launch. There are 8 cars on the coaster's train. So I would say there's about 30 feet of difference between the front row and the back row. So if you sit in the back row, you're going to get about 30 more feet of launch through this tunnel. And the tunnel launch is awesome. You're really going to enjoy that extra 30 feet. The next ride, we're going to provide a little hack for the Amazing Spider-Man. Pass holders are well aware of this, but maybe if you're new to Universal, you don't know about the Stan Lee cameos on the Spider-Man ride. I'm sure you do know Stan was the king of cameos in the Marvel movies. Well, there are a few different spots on the Spider-Man ride where Stan the Man makes his cameos, so keep an eye out for him. Toon Lagoon is home to 2 really big water rides here at Islands of Adventure. Now, if you're waiting for me to give you some major hack on how not to get wet, I can't do that. The 2 water rides in this area are Ripsaw Falls and Popeyes and Bluto's Barges, and both rides will get you soaking wet. There's no way to avoid it. The best thing I can do to help you mitigate getting wet would be to buy a poncho. But then you know what? You're going to look like a tourist then. We Universal pros know that once you get wet, it's going to keep you cool for at least a couple hours here on a hot day. So I say just get wet. Forget the poncho. But if you didn't wear a poncho and you really don't want to walk around wet, they do have dryers here, but for a cost. Skull Island, Reign of Kong, one of the most popular rides here at Islands of Adventure, but again, this is one where you want to request a middle to a back row. The view is so bad in the front, they stopped using row 1. But just to make sure you get the best views of this attraction and all the action in it, ask a team member if they wouldn't mind sitting you towards the back of the bus. Also, another pro tip would be at the very end of the ride, when they're done with all the screens, take off your 3D glasses so you can fully enjoy that huge Kong animatronic. There is a water ride here at Islands of Adventure that you can have some success in avoiding the water a bit, and that would be in the Jurassic Park River Adventure. Row 1 of this ride, you will get splashed with a good amount of water, but I have found that if you request rows 3 or 4, you can mitigate how wet you're going to get. In fact, I would say try to sit in the middle of row 3 and 4. That way, you'll only get like a refreshing mist of water. And for the love of God, people, stop jumping into the river. If you want to know what I'm referring to, click on this video right here, and that explains the weirdest way to get kicked out of Universal. And now let's step into Hogsmeade for a few more hacks, this time for the Harry Potter attractions. No major hack for the Forbidden Journey. I just want to say, if you're prone to motion sickness, this might be one you'll want to avoid. About halfway through this ride is where the motion sickness gets me. The combination of looking at the screen and then the swaying that this enchanted bench does, it kind of gets to me. I have to close my eyes about halfway through and hope I don't throw up before I get to the end. And also, if you're afraid of spiders, you're not going to be too crazy about the Forbidden Forest section of this attraction. I do want to note, you don't actually have to go on the ride to enjoy Hogwarts Castle. You can just walk through it and enjoy the queue. And it is one of the best theme park queues that we have around here. So don't be shy, just tell the team member you want to walk through and enjoy the castle. And here's a fun little tip regarding Hagrid's motorbike adventure. I know guys, I know, throwing your arms up when you're on a roller coaster is kind of a thing, but I recommend you do not do that on Hagrid's. This coaster was designed to be like a motorbike, so I want you to hold on to those handlebars because it really gives you that feeling like you're on a motorbike with all the curves and everything that you go through the forest and the trees. A really, really good sensation of being on a motorbike. So please, unless you're in the sidecar, do not throw your arms up into the air on this ride. Okay guys, I'm gonna walk over to Universal Studios right now. You're gonna watch this commercial and we'll hook back up in 15 seconds. And I am back. Or maybe I never left. Who knows how these things work? Regardless, we're here at Rip Ride Rocket to give you the first hack over here at Universal Studios. Again, here's a hack pass holders are very aware about, but newbies maybe not so much. There's actually a secret playlist on Rip Ride Rocket. Once you secure yourself in your seat, press and hold the Rip Ride Rocket logo down on the screen for about 3 seconds, and this will allow you to punch in a 3-digit code for a hidden song. Now the thing is, you need to know the secret song list before you get on the ride. I'll leave a link to some websites that will provide you with that secret list.
Subscribe!
And now we come to the Mummy, my favorite ride at Universal Studios, and I'm sticking to my statement that I made in a previous video. I believe it will go down later this year for an extended amount of time for a big refurb. If you want to know more about what I'm talking about, click on the card that's popping up on your screen right now, or check out the link in the description. But when it comes to hacks for this ride, I don't have any big ones. I will say I think the photo is better in row 1. So most of the time I will tell you to get back row of a coaster. But for this coaster, I'm going to say front row is a little bit better. And about that refurb, I said refurb, not rebranding. Don't worry about the Tom Cruise Mummy coming here. That's not going to happen. In we go into Diagon Alley to hack Escape from Gringotts, and it's just a baby hack, guys. Most of the rides at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure has a single rider line. As for me, the single rider line I use the most is for Escape from Gringotts. However, if the single rider line is backed up all the way down this staircase, I don't use it. About the worst I'll do is if it's halfway down. Now, I should say, if you're gonna go on this for the first time, it's fun to go with your family or whatever party you're with. But after that first time, you want to save some time, go back through the single rider line for your multiple rides. And I do have a tip for Fear Factor Live, as my wife Nikki has competed in this. And here is Nikki's tip for Fear Factor Live. The first stunt is where you have to hang from your arms. And in the dressing rooms while you're changing, they do have hairspray available. So her tip is to spray your hands with that hairspray, then make them a little more sticky to help you keep that grip. And that brings us to MIB Alien Attack, which I actually did a whole video on tips and tricks on that. So check out that video right here, or look in the description for it. But here's a tip I did not mention in the video. If you're on the green track, after the scan, to the right, you will see a small parking meter with green eyes. Aim for that parking meter, stay on those green eyes for as long as you can. I rack up tons of points on that parking meter. Another tip would be, when you're aiming for the alien eyes, the smaller eyes the better. So if you see multiple alien eyes, pick out the smaller ones, aim for those. For example, in the trees, aim for the smaller eyes in the trees. Now regarding this ride for Bart and Homer Simpson, this is one, again, like the Forbidden Journey, not really a hack. This is more of a warning. If you are prone to motion sickness, this ride will make you sick, I promise you. So maybe if you tend to have a bit of a weak stomach on rides, this would be another one you would want to skip. Into the kids zone for a hack or a tip or two regarding ETs Adventure. If you're eager to ride your favorite movie from the 80s, no need to rush over to ETs Adventure, as it does not open with the park. It usually opens about an hour after the park opens. So go enjoy a few other attractions and time it so that you can get back to ET when it first opens to enjoy short wait times. Also, when you step into the queue, you're going to be given a passport where you have to give your name. Now, pass holders, we really don't give our real name. The two most popular names to be given are, of course, Steven, for Steven Spielberg, and for E.T.'s best friend, Elliot. It's really cool at the end of the ride to hear E.T. say Elliot. Or if you want to hear E.T. say your name, you can do that as well. Well, congratulations guys, you made it to the end of another video. So if you don't mind, do all those things. Like, share, subscribe, and once you subscribe, be sure to click that bell notification button. And as always,
don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun.
Thanks for watching RixFlix, and now it's time to relax. I'd like to take a moment and thank those viewers who have visited my coffee page and bought me a cup of coffee or a butterbeer recently. Thank you so much, Jerry and Allie, and Cindy Abrams again for a second time. Thank you so much, Cindy. Stephen Giffen, Cisco Duncan, Nija and Kevin, and especially a big thanks to Matt Rost. Thank you so much, Matt. And as always, much love and a big thank you to my supporters on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. First up, the executive producers, Candace McBride, Randall Rittenberry, Hank Spalding, Andrew Bundle, U.S. Storm Shelters, Joshua Rush, Brian Jenkins, the Luke family, Hannah Jo Smithhart, Catherine and Daddy Dave, Wayne Fitzpatrick, Chad and Michelle, Kayla Cox, Warren and Don Kulo, Neil Whitaker, Anita and Jim, Harry Beadle, Angelina Twazer, Sonia Tucci, Nick Hahn and Brandon Anders. And now a thank you and a shout out to my regular Patreon producers, the Perez family, Desi, Adam Kazanecki, Armando Carvelli, John Andine, Sherry South, TJ and Shannon, Brett and Mindy West, Ben Van Litt, Andreas Martinez, the A-Team, Allie and AJ, Craig Conley, Jeffrey and Mugga, Will Antico, Cameron Alder, Nicole Bergstein, Matt Weaver, Rob Racer 66, Ash Gauthier, Ricardo Justin, Josh Grabiak, Kiss My, John Gosby, and Stephen Brodude.